Okay, neat. Let's make sure we've got everything up and running. Just a second. I think I've actually remembered to unmute my mic. That's a good start. Hello, everybody. Just a moment as we get started, making sure everything is launched as we do here. Okay, looking good. Looking very good. Looking oh so sweet. Boom. Okay, cool. Gonzo Baptist says nope, still muted though. I hope that's not the case, Gonzo Baptist. I do see my mic levels going up. I think yesterday, Gonzo Baptist, if I'm not mistaken, your phone was muted, not my mic. And I'm wondering if that's the case this time. It looks like my dog's maybe thinking about making an escape. Just go into the closet. Either way, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. First bag's for you. If you can hear that. Gonzo Baptist, let me, you probably can't hear me if you can't hear me. Well, that's sort of a tautology. Well, crap. Is anybody else out there? If anybody else is out there, please let me know whether or not my mic is muted. I guess I could just check myself. And mouthpiece. Gonzo Baptist is pushing back and saying that it's not on him. All right, let me... Wait, Gonzo Baptist, I think it is you. I am looking at the YouTube live stream, hearing sound coming out. Not to call you a liar, my friend.
Swearing gets a bad
oh shit. Swearing gets a bad rap. Thanks, YouTube autoplay. All right. Anyways, welcome everybody. Here we are. I think my mic is working. We'll dedicate this first bag to who needs a bag dedicated to them. Skater Freak 420, of course. Welcome, Skater Freak 420. Thanks for joining us. And this weed belongs to you that I am inhaling. Just pretend like we are sharing lungs, as if we are conjoined twins. Thanks, man. We'll do this one nice and quick and get to our... I need to up the weed content. I know a lot of people have some problems with how little weed has been consumed, but not going to be into the issue this time. We're going to power through this first oven chamber as quickly as we can. No muss, no fuss. I wonder in conjoined twins if the... Oh, there goes the dog whining. If the set of conjoined twins share lungs, if one of them smokes weed, if the other would get high. It seems... Well, no. The lungs wouldn't have any purely to do with it. It would have to do a lot after that with, like, the circulatory system and all that wonderful stuff. But it would be fun to know for sure. And if there are any conjoined twins out there watching right now, and you share lungs with your twin, but one of you enjoys smoking weed and the other doesn't, please let us know and what that experience is like. Rhode Island Hiker, welcome, man. Gonzo Baptist, it happens to all of us. It's worse when it happens to me. When it happens to you, the worst is you don't hear me. When it happens to me, which happens very frequently, nobody hears me. But I'm realizing now, maybe that's for the best. And I think I said welcome, Rhode Island hiker. If not, welcome. Glad to have you. All right, it's one bag down as we promised. Rhode Island hiker, this one is for you. Well, I've got, oh, I was doing the hands on the hips. I've got my tickets booked for the 8 p.m. Jurassic, what is it called? Is it Dominion? Jurassic World Dominion? Is that the name? I don't even know. I've got my 8 p.m. tickets for the IMAX Laser 3D. See, conversation yesterday about how much I love gimmicks. 3D movies, give them to me. Still love the 3D movie experience. But, boy, I've seen those reviews, and holy Christ, looking terrible. I can't believe Universal let their second most premier franchise probably flounder so badly. But maybe just, you know, it is Dominion. My producer confirms with me that it is Jurassic World Dominion. And my producer is also telling me that the audience is saying to kick the dog out. They're getting a lot of feedback. So, you gotta keep the producer effort. Come on, dog. Dude. Thank you. Rhode Island Hiker says Stuck on You was a great movie with twins. That is the December 2004. I'm gonna guess. Oh shit! No. When is Stuck on You? It's not. It's not holidays. It's not holidays. It's spring. So I'm gonna revise. I'm gonna stick with 2004. I'm gonna say March 2004. That's the Farrelly Brothers movie where Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear are conjoined twins. I have not heard about or thought about Stuck on You. Is it Stuck on You or Stuck Together with You? I don't remember. I haven't thought about that movie since it came out. But yeah, there is a movie where Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear play conjoined twins, brought to you by the guys who gave you such great hits as Shallow Hal and There's Something About Mary, and then later, the fucking Green Book. In case you're, you know, you like your movie trivia, the guy who did There's Something About Mary also directed that real bad, I guess, Best Picture winner, The Green Book from 2017, whenever that was. The Viggo Mortenstein movie with Mahershala Ali. Terrible Viggo Mortenstein movie. If you want good Viggo Mortenstein, Crimes of the Future. Saw that on last Friday. Man, love me some Cronenberg. I was really kind of scared going in. The older I get, the less I can do the really grisly body horror stuff, as much as I loved it growing up. And I was kind of scared that it was going to be a little too much for me, but it was just the perfect amount of much for me, which is a lot still. There's some real nasty scenes in Crimes of the Future. Cronenberg's new movie, starring his new boy, I guess not new at this point, 20-year partnership, Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Morton. Shit! I've called him Viggo Mortenstein for so long, I forgot how you actually say his last name. I have to look this up. Sorry, Viggo. Mortensen, not Mortenstein. Crimes of the Future is a really weird fucking movie. Here's how it begins. Let me just lay this out for you and then we'll move on. Because we still have to bitch about Jurassic World. But this is how the movie Crimes of the Future begins, and it's a great movie. Or a pretty good movie. The movie begins with, you're sort of looking at what looks like a Costa Concordia, like the tipped over cruise ship off the coast of, I think, Italy, somewhere maybe, 7-8 years ago now. The drunk captain tipped a massive cruise liner. You see something just like that, except then the camera pans back and you're on this like little tiny island, and there's a boy playing in a tidal pool right next to this massive tipped over cruise liner, looking totally uninterested in that. And then you hear a mother yell, "Get out of that water, and I better not catch you eating any weird shit from there," or something to that effect. Okay, interesting. Weird world we've got here. Next scene, boy is getting ready to go to bed, starts brushing his teeth. Okay, fair enough, interesting. Makes sense. He finishes brushing his teeth and he looks down and he sees a trash can, like a pink fuchsia trash can, plastic trash can in his bathroom, and he goes, you see him see the trash can, you see him pick it up, and there's a moment where nobody is sure what's about to happen. It's a Cronenberg movie. Anything can happen. And then the thing that you probably expected least to happen happens, and that boy starts munching down on that plastic trash can, just going to town on it, eating it like it's a Easter bunny, basically. And then you see a shot of like a half-eaten trash can, and then spoiler alert, the boy is going to bed, and the boy's mother smothers him with a pillow. And that is the beginning of Crimes of the Future. And then that whole sequence is not addressed again for probably another hour. Great movie. Really can't recommend it enough, Crimes of the Future. That is not the movie we're seeing today. That is Jurassic World Dominion. Oh, and I've been missing chat here. Dr. Smegma Jones, welcome, my friend. This next bag will be for you. This one is for Rhode Island Hiker, which I'm going to get through right now. And then Dr. S.J., next one's for you. Have I done my rant about Jurassic World? Oh my God, I'm sure I have. I am so sure that I have, but I must do it. Again, I am not little tiny details in movies don't bother me. Of course, we're watching Jurassic Park movies still, knowing that all these dinosaurs should be covered in feathers, and they're not, and we're all okay with that. That's all fine. Whatever. That's not the shit that bothers me. There's, of course, so infinite amounts of shit about Jurassic Park, little niggles that you could find, that you could get lost in forever and be the whole reason that you end up hating the movie. Believe me, I get that. But I have a super specific tiny qualm with the last one in particular that drives me so fucking nuts. Out of all the dumb shit that was in the last Jurassic World movie, like lava falling on dinosaurs and like half dinosaur, half people hybrids, I can't remember. I blocked most of it out. There's one thing in that movie that is so colossally stupid. So, I mean, you could build a whole comedy routine out of it, I think. Out of how just unbelievably fucking stupid that is. And I'll get to it. We're going to finish this bag. We're going to get the next one started. And then I'm going to give a Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom real bitch session. So hold tight. Okay. Dr. SJ, this bag is for you. Let's get it going here. Nice and quick. All right. Dr. Smegma, here we go. This one is for you. Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom. All right. There is a plot in that movie, that very dumb movie, where I guess the island where all the dinosaurs are living is about to be destroyed by a volcano, as best as I can remember. And of course, being Jurassic Park, it's being run by some shady third-party company that is has more on its mind than just saving these dinosaurs. And I think the scheme that they have come up with is like a straight out of an 80s or 90s movie where they have decided to bring together a bunch of diverse cast of evil people from the world. If this were in the 80s and 90s, there would be like some people there in turbans. There'd be some people there in huge vests. There'd be some Russians. Just a real diverse mix of people who have evil intentions. So the Jurassic Park people decide the best way to cash out is they're going to sell their dinosaurs, which are the only dinosaurs that have ever existed, and the only dinosaurs that ever will exist. Presumably, I guess all their technology's gone. So there are like 100-something dinosaurs maybe left in the world. I don't know. Very few left. That's it. And so they're going to run a black market auction for these dinosaurs for not just collectors' purposes, but also for military purposes, I believe. So dumb. I think they've also engineered like a perfect dinosaur military hybrid thing that they're going to sell off as well. And so that's like the plot. What they want to do is they want to sell off all the dinosaurs that are left, which again are by definition the rarest things in the world. Truly the most rare things in the world. We sell JPEGs now that you can infinitely copy infinitely many times over. We call them NFTs. We sell them for, what was the record, 66 million or whatever, for a JPEG. Jurassic World in this evil black market auction for these last dinosaurs on the world, for the rarest things in the world, which again aren't JPEGs, they're fucking goddamn dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, the coolest. Not only are they the rarest thing in the world, but they're the fucking coolest thing in the world. They're goddamn dinosaurs, right? Like, it's very often, you're selling a Leonardo da Vinci scrap that people know is not a Leonardo da Vinci scrap of paper that looks like shit. It's just a fucking scrap of paper. And people know it actually isn't even him, but because there is some idea that maybe this dude wrote it or drew this thing, it's worth $900 million when there are untold numbers of scraps of paper with drawings on them. It's not that interesting, but these are fucking dinosaurs, man. And that's it. No more. So the first dinosaur comes up. It's like an Ankylosaurus, I think, the big armored guy. I'm probably getting some of these details wrong. That's fine. It doesn't matter. The real infuriating shit's about to begin. The bidding at, like, the first dinosaur at this auction begins, and they're like, do I hear $5 million? And there's, like, a little bit of bidding, and they ultimately sell it for, like, $8 million. One of the very last fucking dinosaurs alive. There are, limited edition pop vinyls that are probably, people sell for more than that. But here it is, living, breathing fucking dinosaur, sells it for $8 million. They go through the entire auction, including selling like their specialized, militarized, kill anybody dinosaurs. And those dinosaurs are like $20 million. The whole thing, I think it all concludes. They sell every last dinosaur on the fucking planet for like $190 million or something. And they're like, we have made so much money. I cannot believe it. We've really outsmarted them. Look at all this bukus of cash we've baked in. The amount that they sold every physical, actual dinosaur for, including all the science and technology that went into creating these things, was less than like the opening weekend box office total of Jurassic World, the movie about dinosaurs that aren't actually real. the dude who directed it, Colin Trevorrow, I guess he didn't actually direct that second one. You know, his options for the movie are probably about half that amount of money. The stupidity that would go into people thinking, like the last Jurassic World, worldwide. Again, this is the movie. Dinosaurs don't actually exist. It's just a movie about dinosaurs because the idea of dinosaurs is so cool, and we would all give everything to go see them. We would, give no end of money, no end of resources to go see a real dinosaur. So we're gonna go spend Jurassic World global box office is $1.67 billion. That's how much money the world spent to see a movie about how cool dinosaurs are and how much we want to see them. And the writers and directors of the movie thought that if you actually could make dinosaurs, and then if you would be able to take those dinosaurs and sell them all off to private collectors at the highest bidding price, you would make 1/8 the cost of the box office run of the movie about the thing that everybody's excited to see. How dumb is that? It's very dumb. And that's my rant. Yes, Dr. Smegma Jones, I will be taking some edibles before the movie. Probably a little fruit bar. Nice little easy to sneak in edible. Super cheap, super affordable, and does the job. I assume it's going to be the only way that this movie is palatable. Is very high. Although it didn't work last time. But, woof. Jurassic World. It's going to be great, I'm sure. I think I saw this morning. Let's just take another peek at the old Metacritic. 38 on Metacritic, which, not that these things, should be, are purely analogous, but I think you can take something from this. Morbius, 35. Boy, that is, woof. Done fucked up. Colin Trevorrow, I already had this conversation earlier today, but I'll have to do it again because you guys didn't hear it. Is the director of 2 of the 3 of these Jurassic World movies. The first and this one. He didn't direct the second for an interesting reason, which we'll get to. I was initially super mega excited because he had this incredible, delightful indie comedy that came out in 2012, I think, called Safety Not Guaranteed. A movie sort of about an internet meme, but not really. About a guy who proclaims he has the ability to time travel, and he posts a classified ad on his local paper looking for somebody to go back in time with him to basically be his bodyguard. That is a real newspaper ad from a long, long time ago, and it's stuck around on the internet for forever. And this dude made a movie, not actually with the real story of that, but with that meme in mind. It's great. It's pretty cool. Stars Mark Duplass, Aubrey Plaza. Pretty neat. I really loved the movie. I heard then that George Lucas loved that movie so much that he considered him for Star Wars as they were talking about the Disney acquisition. Not only did George Lucas love it so much, but he got, and I'm not sure which direction it was, Spielberg or George Lucas first saw it and loved it and got the other one interested in it. So he went from doing this little tiny movie in 2012 called Safety Not Guaranteed to getting the keys to the Jurassic Park franchise. And he made Jurassic World several years later. Not a very good movie. Was really disappointed with it. But, it was decent enough fan service. I have to get through this bag. Let me do that. Jurassic World. Bad movie by an interesting director. Fan service. So after Jurassic World, which was a massive, massive hit, I think it was the highest opening weekend of its time, like beating the Avengers. Sorry for all the box office trivia. So it was a huge, huge deal. And then I think George Lucas comes back and says, hey, there's going to be an opening for the last Star Wars movie. We've got directors lined up for the first two. We're looking for somebody to write and direct this third one. How about it, Colin? You've shown how you can shepherd a beloved franchise back. You want to cap off the Star Wars Skywalker saga? Not that they were calling it then. And he says, sure. But first, I want to do another small indie movie. And that small, tiny little indie movie was so bad, was so horrendously ill-conceived from the start that he got fired from Star Wars before ever directing it. And that's how you also ended up with a piece of shit last Star Wars movie, because they hired J.J. Abrams real late, and boy, that's a piece of shit movie too. I'm being real negative today, but there's a lot of crap in the movies recently. I guess not recently, and there's a lot of great stuff. Neither here nor there. So he got fired from Star Wars, and he did not direct the second Jurassic Park to get fired from Star Wars and make a movie so terrible he became a laughingstock. That movie, by the way, is called The Book of Henry. I've never seen it. I have watched an incredible video essay about it, though, that makes me want to watch it. It's in the precocious kid solves crime from beyond the grave genre, which is a surprisingly packed genre of movies. But it's like about a kid with a terminal illness who, from beyond the grave, sets up a puzzle. He's like a total genius, this kid. I'm promised this is the plot of an actual movie that came out. It's a family, a mother and two sons. One son has some kind of terminal illness and is a super genius. The other son is the other son. Kid dies. As he is dying, he sets up in motion a plan for his mother to kill his neighbor who he has a crush on, but his crush has an abusive father, played by that guy from Breaking Bad. Not the cop, whatever his name is. Hank from Breaking Bad. So there's an entire plot where a dead kid is giving clues to his mother about how to murder his neighbor. And it's a feel-good movie, by the way. I forgot to mention that. It's like a heartwarming, everybody lives and loves and cries and realizes how special Henry was for setting up a murder scenario after he was dead. Book of Henry. There we go. Excuse me. All right. Let's get our final bag, I think. Bag number 4, I think, from the 7. Going here. Dr. SJ asked about any edible recommendations. And it's so interesting that you also bring it up because I've meant to address it. I've seen Korova somewhat recently. I would say, well, about a year and a half ago was the last time I know I've seen Korova at a place. I don't know the last time I've seen Kana. I hope. I hope they still exist. They were my favorite for a long, long time in terms of the edible space, but I haven't seen anybody carrying them. I understand so much has changed since then that even a company as good as them might have been put out of business for any number of reasons since then, but I certainly hope they still exist because they make great stuff. Andrew. Welcome, Andrew. This bag is for you, my friend. And Andrew says, why did you stop reviewing weed? Got busy with other things. Unfortunately, hope to be back soon. No firm date, but we'll see in the future if we get it going again. Fingers crossed. Just don't want to promise anything. Excuse me. With the old whistle here. Okay. All right. Happy to rant about any topic anybody wants to throw at me. Otherwise, we're probably going to have to talk about some video games. I don't feel like I've talked video games enough. Cuzco, welcome back, my friend. Good to see ya. Excuse me. I made it take a tolerance break from, well, not a tolerance break, just a throat break from some weed. I noticed after a while of doing a lot of vaping, my throat does get a little bit raw, and a couple days or week off or so seems to help. Definitely a little bit raw now, but that's neither here nor there. What were we going to talk about? We were going to talk about video games, and what about them? Oh, yeah, cool stuff, video games. Still actively awaiting my Steam Deck. I don't know if any of you guys are out there, also in that boat. Very, very excited. I've heard 3 different people whose opinion I trust, excuse me, say that the Steam Deck, for those who don't know, is Valve's new portable PC, I guess is the best way to describe it. A little portable PC game playing, well, I guess not little, it's pretty giant, but it is a handheld PC gaming device. Takes your whole Steam library with you, and you can play it using some kind of weird Linux voodoo that I don't really understand that well. And I was a skeptic when they first announced it. I wholeheartedly admit it. I do like the Steam controller with its weird haptics. I still have my Steam controller, but there are other. Well, I still have my HTC Vive too, which is kind of Valve. I still don't have a Index. I guess at this point I might as well wait for an Index too. But they're like Steam PCs. Their original idea of like having their own operating system built around Steam, that all fizzled into nothing. So I was a little, wary, but I did pre-order. And since then, I think people have had them since like March at this point. I've heard 3 different people describe it as their favorite gaming device that they own right now. And certainly the thing that they play the most, which has me so excited. I love the Switch. I play it more than just because it's portable. Even if I have, I've got a PlayStation 5 and a really great PC and all that stuff. Just the fact that I can take it into the bedroom or drive with it in the car. Well, I've never played it while driving. Play it while riding, to clarify. Love it. I mean, it just gets so much playtime, and I find that the Nintendo's games work so well as games for my wife and I to play. Love it, love it, love it. But I do hate the fact that it does suck ass now, sort of objectively. God, it's hard. I mean, I still play this shit out of it. I play Smash Brothers all the time still. I'm playing Kirby right now on Switch, but man, it's shit compared to, anything modern. There's no doubt about it. The loading times, god damn, they suck. So the idea of the Steam Deck being a better Switch, not just in terms of the fact that everything is going to load nice, everything's going to run at a much higher frame rate, all those wonderful technical stuff, but I also just have my entire Steam library, which is not insubstantial at this point. And I've just heard such great things about the hardware itself. Like, the actual device is incredibly well made. The screen is perfectly fine for what it is, but the touchpads are supposed to be great. The analog sticks are supposed to be great. So I'm just super excited. I think mine is supposed to not get here until like September, though. But fingers crossed. Steam Deck, looking forward to it. I don't remember how we started with Steam Deck. Anyways, welcome everybody. Philip Baca, welcome back, man, says, you don't get off unless you cough. That is what one of my very early smoking buddies told me all the time, as I was a heavy cougher early on. He's like, oh man, that's how you know you get high. And I always took it as a comfort, even if I didn't necessarily believe it to be valid. Thanks for joining us, though, Philip. YouTube channel says, I'm the guy who got fired during his promotion interview. I'm sorry to hear that. What is a promotion interview? And I would love to hear the story. Boy, that reminds me of an incredible cringe video from a decade ago now, probably. Wow, was it some prime cringe content? Holy shit, I haven't seen it in forever, and I almost can't believe it wasn't bigger than it was, and I don't even know if it'd be hard to find, but it was a dude who I think had, unfortunately, was probably on the spectrum somewhere, and his dick internet friends convinced him to record his phone Skype interview with a recruiter for a bank, and he is it's a job. It's not a job. It's an internship. Sorry, it's like a summer internship for college at a bank, for Chase or something, and his douchebag friends online realize this guy is probably not going to do very great at it, and again convince him to record it, and it goes terribly, terribly wrong, and you hate to I was going to say enjoy it as much as you do. I don't know if you enjoy cringe stuff, or if you just... Do you enjoy schadenfreude? I guess you do, by definition. But, like, the episode of Scott's Tots of The Office, the thing that I've only ever been able to watch the day it aired on TV, however long ago now, 13 years. Like that episode of The Office where, some great Curb Your Enthusiasm, but the most cringe content, do you enjoy watching it? What is the what is the mechanism? I guess enjoyment is correct. Do you like it? It's almost more of like a horror reaction than it is a like pleasure reaction. There's something like the cringiest cringe content. I think I don't know if it's pleasure that draws us to it. But I used to crave it too. I still crave it. Love cringe content, cringe stuff, but not at people's expense so much anymore. When I was younger, when I was in my, late teens, early 20s, I loved watching people make fools of themselves on the internet. And I'll admit to still enjoying it somewhat now. I find it a little harder to take, but I love a good manufactured bit of cringe content. And I like the hard stuff now. The truly almost impossible to watch, like a Nathan For You or one of my favorite shows ever, Review. Something that's just like difficult to look away from. But I'm not sure if I would say I enjoy it. But yes, do you enjoy a horror movie? What does the word enjoy mean? What is pleasure? Who knows? Why do we go see things that... Why did I willingly go see the movie Crimes of the Future, knowing that there were going to be times that I was going to be truly disgusted by what I saw? Did I enjoy it? I don't know. And why are we lost in linguistic semantics here? There's obviously something compelling about it, because otherwise I wouldn't go. It's kind of what they call revealed preference. Like, if nobody's forcing me to go see a horror movie or watch a Tim Heidecker bit, something that gets to you in your guts, but I elect to do it anyways, so there must be some reason to do it, even if that reason isn't what I would describe as pleasure. But I think that's probably only a semantic difference anyways. Anyways, really lost in the weeds here. Let's do this bag. Dr. Smegma Jones says, have you ever tried an edible called Fruit? They sell it at licensed shops in SoCal, and 100 milligrams for $9, and it hits. Dr. SJ, not only have I tried it, I've recommended it here. Not only have I recommended it, it is actually, I like it so much, Dr. SJ. It is one of the few completed reviews that I do have just sitting ready to be released at some point when I have more stuff. I love it so very much. You're so right to bring it up. I mean, I know I've brought it up here before as well, but I always want to give it a shout out. It's a great edible at an insane price. It is a $9 gummy, and the dispensary that I go to, that is price includes tax, so it is legitimately $9. And I love it so much. So if I were ever to do another like top 5 or a Hall of Fame, which we did years and years and years ago now, I mean, those were like years 1 and 2 of Wheats. Back when things mattered more because there was more diversity and different milligramages and a lot less honesty in the edible world back then, the weed world generally. We don't do it as much. But if I were to, the Fruit $9 gummy would get a Wheats gold star for sure. It would get a Wheats, whatever we would denote, whatever we would denote as like the little medal for Wheats, I would happily give to Fruit. Okay, finishing this. Axel, welcome, Axel. Axel brings up an excellent point as well about the Stream Deck. And I said Stream Deck, which is not true. The Stream Deck is what I already have on my deck. Elgato's little buttons that launches individual things. I know there's some confusion there. No, I wasn't the only one. But yes, Axel brings up a great point about the Steam Deck, and that is almost all of it is replaceable. I know Valve has a really cool partnership with iFixit or whatever the website is. I might have gotten the name wrong. Where any little thing that breaks or you want to swap or replace or gets worn out, they have incredible comprehensive guides online on how to, replace anything you want. So if you are a tinkerer or if you are also clumsy, I am one of those two things. I won't reveal which. This Steam Deck is very amenable to your needs as well. So, neato. And thanks for that comment, Axel. We will finish this bag and give the next one for you. Oh, YouTube channel. Yes. You. Thank you for the reminder. I hope you've been able to find new employment since, my friend. It seemed like last time we talked that there were a lot of prospects out there for other jobs, and I hope you have secured them. If you are looking for one, I remember now just how preposterous and ridiculous the situation was. YouTube channel also recommends using RSO or tinctures as your better bang for the buck. This is true. Generally speaking, you can find sort of cent for milligrammage, dollar for milligrammage, I guess. Tinctures are generally going to be your best bet with some, I've seen some 1,000 milligram tinctures for less than $50 before, which is ridiculous. But there are a couple of considerations, YouTube channel, at least for me when it comes to tinctures, that I sometimes prefer the fruit gummy over those. Even if I love a high dosage, easy, quick, not a lot of material edible, almost all tinctures are gross tasting. And generally you have to, to get 100 milligrams from a tincture, you're gonna have to do not an insignificant amount, even in a 15 milliliter bottle. You're gonna have to be putting a lot of drops under your tongue. And if you are really sensitive to the taste, it's gonna be awful. Even if it's under your tongue, you're gonna hate it. And the little fruit gummy, the other reason it's amazing, in addition to being cheap, is it's like that big. You can easily eat the whole thing in one bite if you'd like, let alone 10 individual pieces. So it's so much more compact and sort of discreet, especially compared to taking a tincture somewhere. It's a gummy, you can just throw it in your mouth, chew it, and you're done. And then the other thing is a little bit more personal, but I know others for whom this is true. Tinctures sometimes, for me, very often do not seem to get me as high as edibles in the sort of equivalent space. So 100 milligram of a tincture does not seem to do as much for me as a 100 milligram, say, chocolate chip cookie. I don't actually know why that would be, unless I don't understand why it would be, especially if the tincture is something like coconut oil or MCT oil that's super high in fat. It doesn't make sense, but it is noticeable. For me, I've seen others where that is true, so that is also a consideration. But you are generally right, though, YouTube channel, that tinctures are an incredible bang for your buck, a really great value if you're just trying to get a lot of good weed, a lot of THC quickly and cheaply. But those are my reasons that I often still go for edibles over tinctures, even though I use tinctures still pretty frequently. Whew, long explanation. Delon or Delon. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I'm gonna say Delon for now. Delon asks, whoops. Let's be responsible. First, thanks for the kind words. He says, love the channel. And then he asks, have I ever tried the Delta 8 carts? And if I have, how was my experience? And hate to disappoint you, but I have not, actually. It is on my list of things to do, just as like, oh, I need to do this just to remain educated. Reason being simply is I'm not at places that actually have them that frequently. The only place that I've know that sell them around here are probably head shops, and I don't go into head shops that often. I have most of the stuff that I need already. Buy weed at the dispensary. And when they are there, they are usually more expensive than the THC itself. You know, a equivalent thing of THC. And Delta 8, from the anecdotal experiences that I have heard from the people who have tried it, which is not many actually. I actually don't know a lot of folks who've done it. But from those who have, the experience that they relate is basically it's like a less strong weed. It's, you know, it's I think this is probably an incorrect way to describe it, but I mean, I get the sort of idea that it's less psychoactive than THC, but I don't actually know, and I am totally ignorant and need to remedy it just, again, if only for curiosity's sake. But I have a friend who lives in East Tennessee where all weed is still illegal, whether recreational or, you know, obviously commercial, or recreational or medicinal, sorry. And he goes to a Delta 8 dispensary there. I guess it's legal for now still in East Tennessee, and he loves the stuff, but describes it as just like a mild weed. But living in Southern California, haven't ever had the need just yet. Curious though if you have, Delon, and if so, right back at you what your experiences are with it. Genuinely curious. Oh, this bag, by the way, was for Axel and his excellent contribution to our Steam Deck discussion, which again, super excited for. I knew it wasn't gonna happen. I mean, there was no reason to get my hopes up, but they were. I was really hoping beyond, you know, for no tangible reason that the Apple headset would have showed up at the WWDC earlier this week, the big yearly Apple press conference. I mean, it is definitely out there. Like, you know, at this point, it is beyond dispute that it exists. People have seen it. It is a real thing, and I, both being a stupid asshole who likes Apple stuff and a real jerk who loves VR stuff. I'm just so excited to see it, man. I guess we'll see it hopefully before the end of the year. because I mean, yeah, I think there are really exciting things that were even in the press conference. I saw somebody speculate like this big Apple press conference. We've really jumped topics a lot here today, but that's okay. Big Apple yearly press conference. They announced like, oh shit, Resident Evil 8 is coming to Mac, M1 Max this year, and well, what game just got a VR mode announced for PlayStation 2 VR? Resident Evil 8. What is almost certainly going to be powered by an M1 chip that can now play Resident Evil VR? Well, almost certainly an Apple VR headset, so damn. Well, cool. I'm glad I said your name perfect, Elon. Thanks for letting me know. Jorge, welcome, my friend. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing today? I promised to do this bag a little bit more quickly. Let's get through it a little bit with a little bit of speed here, as I said. Ooh, excuse me. I've been sitting here looking at the Diablo Immortal beta on PC for a while now. I've got an iPad Pro, which I guess I could play it on as well, but thought about streaming it. Man, have I heard a lot of really mixed things about the new Diablo game, which is mostly a mobile game, but they have a PC beta version as well. And I've heard that the game is actually great mechanically, a lot of fun to play. The Diablo games on console are excellent. Surprisingly, I played a shit ton of both on it on Switch and what was on last gen consoles. Played a ton of it with my partner on, again, both on Switch and on console. I guess Switch is a console, but PS4. Love Diablo 3. 4? 3. Yeah, 4 is the next one. And I've heard that Diablo Immortal plays really similarly and is great with a controller and all that, but that the microtransaction shit is really, really vile. Truly, truly vile. And that's got me, it's got me wary. I've never paid for, I think this is true. I'm pretty sure this is true. I've never paid for a cosmetic in a game before, like a skin of any kind. And I don't know if Diablo Immortal's if it's skins or whatever it is, but I generally try to even avoid anything that's free to play. Trying to think if there is anything that I do play that is free to play. No, because I don't really play multiplayer stuff either, other than like local co-op still. So I don't know. Maybe we'll avoid it, but people are saying it's a lot of fun, and the something is weak, but the other thing is not weak, willing, whatever that thing is, idiom we say. The mind is weak, but the flesh is willing. Something to that effect. Excuse me. What else? Video games. Oh, I beat Tiny Tina. Speaking of local co-op, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Borderlands X Dungeons and Dragons. That was okay. Uh, Slightly better than Borderlands as is, which I was pretty much done with as a concept before this, and this had just enough to make me get through it one last time. A ringing endorsement, I know. But I have played. I did play through the campaign, and at the same time, I'm playing another game starring Tiny Tina herself, Ashley Birch. I've played a shit ton of the PS5 robot dinosaur hunting game Horizon Forbidden West, not Zero Dawn. And much like Forbidden Dawn, I'm gonna just shut up about Horizon for a moment and check out Delon's comment here, who addresses the Delta 8 situation. He says, I have. If there were a diet version of cannabis, Delta 8 would be it. Less psychoactive and probably a great way to slowly quit cannabis if you wanted to. Oh, that is so cool. That is kind of similar to how very similar to how I heard it described before. And I like your theory about a way to sort of step down off of weed. The way I had almost said I'd heard it describe it, it sounded too pat to be true, so I didn't say it, but I'll say it now, is that somebody's like, oh yeah, it's basically like if you took the experience of taking pure CBD and the experience of taking pure THC and put that right in the middle, not taking both at once, but like a blend of the two simultaneously, as if you could imagine what that would be, which in my head I do have an idea of what that would be like. That's the way I heard it described, which diet weed is a, I think, more evocative description and more fun to say. I like the idea of diet weed. Same great taste, less same great taste, less. I was gonna say something more clever than psychoactive. That fits in with the fitness theme. Delon says, have you ever tried to clear that whole bag in one hit? No. I could not do it now for sure because of my. I need to take a break from the volcano bags, anyways. It gets to my throat after a little bit. But when I'm fresh, I have been able to do it in two, never one. I am certain people could, absolutely certain that it could be done. I just don't know if I'm the one with the lung capacity for it. Which sucks because one of my, I had just a couple of talents as a kid. Just a very, very few things that I was good at. One was four-leaf clovers. I was a total, absolute freak of nature when it came to finding four-leaf clovers. And the other one was that I could blow up balloons faster than anybody else around. That was the extent of my things that I was good at growing up. But if you needed, if a kid had a birthday party coming up, but you didn't care if the balloons sat limply on the floor instead of being high and joyous in the air with helium, where it really came into effect, I could do it as a very easy metric with balloons, but if you had a shitty pool float that you needed filled in 30 seconds faster than another kid, I was the guy to go to. And then I could find you a four-leaf clover. And then I would, proceed to get lost and have no survival skills as well. But, again, excellent at blowing things up. Inflation, I was ahead of my time an inflationary metric all of my own as a child, and a four-leaf clover finding God were my X-Men powers. I'm sorry if you guys weren't as gifted. So, to answer your question, I probably could have when I was a kid. Although that is inhaling and not exhaling. But surely there's got to be some kind of correlation there. Excuse me. All right. Well, we are going to do our final bag for our friend Delon here. Clearing this one out. Filling this one up. In our friend Delon's honor, we'll do our final bag here. Wet the whistle. I gotta stop saying that. I think I've said that, used the phrase wet my whistle more in these last 2 weeks of streaming than I had used in my entire life before this moment. I don't know where it came from, and I don't know why I keep saying it. And I know now there is a certain irony to it, because drawing attention to it will certainly just make it more likely that I'm going to do what I'm about to do, which is say, wet my whistle again, which is a patently stupid thing to say. Whose whistles need wetted? How many idioms like that have the origins of them become totally 100% lost to us, but the phrase persists, despite the whether it's the action that the idiom is describing or the actual words being used, whatever it is lost to us. Like, the fuck does wet your whistle mean? I mean, I have an idea in my head, and I'm guessing at some point there were probably whistles that needed to be lubricated, and it was a thing somebody routinely had to go do, was grease up their old whistle, but it only persists to me now. At least, maybe you guys can correct me. Maybe you guys are out there wetting whistles.